Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome Pakistan International School Taif Virtual Learning System. This lecture is for grade first year boys and girls, Pakistan culture, and you know that we have started chapter 5. Today we will complete chapter 5. Chapter 5, the syllabus which is included, new orientation. We have done in the previous lecture in detail new orientation. Today we will discuss Islamization, education, literature, socio-economic trends, and also our syllabus will be complete today. New orientation, in the previous lecture we discussed in detail. British took power in the 18th century in the subcontinent. They came India and they took over power from the Muslim who had ruled the subcontinent for nearly 1,000 years. The whole region was a feudal medieval society with a self-sufficient economic system in agriculture as well as manufactured goods produced by a vast network of cottage industry. Then we discussed the industrialization period. British came to India and also they introduced, and the British possessed a superior technology and scientific knowledge. How now with loot and plunder acquired from their new dominion, they soon achieved a high degree of industrialization. British plan were, you know that the British were culturally, socially and religiously they were different from the Muslims. And secondly, having wrested power from the Muslims, were always apprehensive of a Muslim revival. So the British, at their attempt, therefore, aimed at implanting their own culture without significantly altering the local culture, and also they plan out their policies in the way that the Muslims were constituted the second largest majority after the Hindus, were paralyzed and left with no means to challenge their authority. Destruction of cottage industry, and to fulfill their plan, the first attack on the Muslim economy to destroy their cottage industry, and the second attack, the making English the official language because the Muslims were not aware the English language, and also the Western education system. Reconciliation. Later, though, the Muslims reconciled themselves towards English education through the effort we have discussed in detail by whom? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Remarkable progress. The creation of Pakistan, the exodus of non-Muslims created a void in the services and profession, education, trade, and commerce. The Muslim had an opportunity to enter their fields. Retaining knowledge from British was made essential. Also, we discussed in detail, it was clear from the outset that in order to achieve progress in modern times, it was essential to retain some of the concepts and institutions introduced by the British. Overview of Islam towards scientific. In fact, Islam encourages free inquiry into the truth and affirms validity of scientific truth as a means to human progress. It enjoins the believers to conquer nature for promoting human welfare and impose no restrictions on human endeavor. Today, the topic which we will discuss is Islamization. Over the years, the country has moved progressively toward the establishment of an Islamic state and an Islamic social order. You know that the Pakistan was achieved in the name of Islam, and the Muslims of India, they demanded a separate country because they wanted to live according to their religion Islam, according to the teaching of Quran and Sunnah. And Since 1956, Pakistan has been constitutionally designated as the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. In 1956, the first constitution of Pakistan that was implemented in 1956, and in this constitution, Pakistan was officially called Islamic and Islamic Republic of Pakistan in 1956 constitution. And the basic principles, the basic principle of Islam, the basic teaching of Islam, it is based on freedom, tolerance, equality, patience, social justice as enunciated by Islam should be fully observed. It also has been constitutionally provided that no law shall be enacted which is against to the teaching of Islam as laid down in the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, and existing law shall be brought in conformity with which such institution. What kind of institution established for this purpose? To make a country a proper, a true, a real Islamic state. The ideology of Pakistan. Basically, the ideology of Pakistan is ideology of Islam. So all these steps were taken to make a Pakistan a true Islamic state. True establishment of the Advisory Council of Islamic Ideology, the Islamic Research Institution, the Sharia Court were established to make a country a proper Islamic state, therefore being constantly reviewing the laws and the statutes to bring them a conformity with the Islamic injunctions. In recent years, successive measures have been taken for great realization of the Islamic goal. What kind of goal? The make Pakistan a true Islamic state, and these includes ban on drinking and gambling in the country, and the Zakat and Ushur ordinance passed, the Hudud ordinance relating to crime and punishment, interest-free banking, appointment to Muhtasib, and similar other measures or steps were taken to make a country an Islamic state. Next topic which we will discuss, education. In the previous chapter we discussed in detail education, the importance of education in Islam, and all these we have done in the previous lecture. Here a very small about we will discuss education is another field where the problem of striking a proper balance between the ideological and spiritual. Ideological, what is the basic ideology? Ideology of Islam, the basis of the ideology of Pakistan, the ideology of Islam, and spiritual imperatives and trapping of the Western system had always been a major consideration. As a system, Western education, that this was introduced by British in our country before the creation of Pakistan, and in its wake, new concepts and methodologies in research and inquiry and innovation and creativity in science, technology, philosophy, and literature. How best these concepts and methods have been utilized in Pakistan is indicated in the programs and policies devised from time to time by the educational experts. And we have discussed, I told you in chapter 4, with thoughtful measures for infusing spiritual tradition and ideological content at different level of studies, instructions, and through the media, the educational equipment has been geared to growth and development, to progress suited to the genius of the people, reflecting the national character and social ethics. The Pakistani none in the field, thus Pakistani scholars, scientists, technicians, professionals, all are reckoned as second to none in the field and have distinguished themselves in scientific and technological expertise as well as profound scholarship and erudition in the international field. Next is the literature. Literature, the early Pakistani literature as represented mainly by Urdu literature, first of all, was also greatly influenced by Western thought and forms, and it reflected in the progressive movement of the pre-Pakistani days. Also, we have discussed in the previous chapter pre-Pakistani the importance of Urdu. You know that in 1867 when the Urdu Hindi controversy started, and on that time Sir Syed observe that these two notions cannot live together, and feature continue to be the ideological orientation and its commitment with the socio-cultural media in a means social environment. In recent year, Urdu literature has continued to approximate itself with the contemporary Western literature in forms and techniques of literary expression within the web of nation psyche and social ethos. These trends in Urdu literature have made their impact on the regional literature, the different regional languages like Sindhi, Pashto, Punjabi, and Balochi, which, however, also make their own linguistic adjustment toward developing the modern synthesis. Now, the last topic of the chapter 5, and also your syllabus will be finished today, socio-economic trends. In the socio-economic field, first of all, we will discuss the technological advancement or the progress or the development has not only led to a sustained economic growth, but it has also contributed or participated to the main important change. What is the significant change in the life pattern or the lifestyle of the people, both in the urban and rural areas of Pakistan, with the overall increase in economic activity through industrialization, trade, and commerce? How change come? After the technological advancement through industrialization and trade and commerce, the cities and town mushroomed from their low profile and meager existence to highly urbanized modern complexes. This phenomena propped up a new urban middle class, making the most of its riches in taking to a new lifestyle, but mostly or largely adhering to the basic spiritual values and tradition. This change is at best at outward manifestation of life patterns set by the machine age and does not necessarily impinge on the inner spirit and soul of Pakistani culture. After the technological advancement or after the introduction of the techno after the introduced this technology have not only led to the sustained economic growth, but also it has changed the significant change on the lifestyle of the people both in the village and the cities in Pakistan. Modern greatly revolutionized the concept of agriculture. Technology has Modern technology has greatly revolutionized the concept of agriculture. How most significant or the important or a big change, the transformation of the rural scene, modern technology. You know that before it was a traditional method in agriculture, but after the modern technology has greatly changed, a sudden change, the concept of agriculture, the process of mechanization has substituted the traditional method and the bullock with tractor and threshers and the manure of cow dung with the chemical fertilizers. These are all the change of the modern technology, that the traditional method has changed and the new method or the a new method with tractor and threshers and chemical fertilizers have been used. The barrage water and the tube well have greatly reduced dependence on seasonal rain. This phenomena increase in production, productivity and consequent prosperity and improvement in the economic standard of the rural community have given a new vision of life to the village folk. After the modern technology has a great change in the life of the people which are living in the village, and this changed also the economic improvement in the economic standard of the people of the village. The improved means of communication have broken the blissful isolation of the rural society, bringing to closer contact with the life in the modern cities. Also, the means of communication has broken the isolation or the distance from the village to the city, and also it is now connected with the life in the modern city. This has affected the village communities in two ways. While the village have received extensive facelift, the traditional village farmer have been moving to the industrial and commercial town in search of gainful employment. Their links with their farmlands are, however, maintained through the older member of their families while they are having plucked back their earnings while they plow back their earnings into their ancestral lands and home along with new ideas of city life. The century old barriers which existed between the urban and the rural areas is thus gradually narrowing down, paving in the way of social integration, integration between the city dwellers and the village folk. What is the meaning of this? Modern technology has changed the life of the village, and also they connected the village to the city, and now they are connected the rural and the urban life, and also they are using the new techniques like chemical fertilizers, tractors, tractions, and the barrage water and the tube well have greatly reduced dependence on seasonal rain. And also the improved the means of communication have changed or have broken the isolation or the distance of the village society, bringing it into the closer contact with the modern life of the city. A new trend in the socio-economic scene, a new trend which has emerged in the socio-economic scene, that is in Pakistan, is the employment boom in the oil-rich countries in the Middle East, including some Western countries. This has given Pakistani doctors, engineers, educators, scientists, technicians a unique opportunity not only of showing their powers and competence in their own fields, in their respective fields, but also substantially augmenting national economy through remittances in foreign exchange. You know that also the example like we are working in the other country or in the overseas, and this has given Pakistani doctors and engineers, technicians a unique opportunity to work in the other countries, and also it brings the foreign exchange in our country. And of greater significance is the contribution made by the village folk drawn from the remotest area, which are providing an enormous workforce in the field. Their foreign earning as well as experience of life and environment gathered in the new societies have greatly helped in transforming the rural scene. Every living culture grows and progress through a natural process of adoption and synthesis. A synthesis of traditional value and new dispensation have given a vigorous and dynamic look to Pakistani culture. Students, today our syllabus is finished, and short question from this chapter can be asked about literature, education, Islamization. Socio-economic trend can be asked over our long question, or in short questions, write a short note on socio-economic trends. So you will write shortly in a short question if it is asked, or if it is in long, you have to write same like new orientation. It can be asked in long question overall, and MCQs in this chapter, like not too much MCQs in this chapter. The War of Independence 1857, I have told you in the previous chapter, and one more, the establishment of the Islamic State and Islamic social order, when it was first in 1956 constitutionally designated in Pakistan, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. It can be asked in MCQs. The other simply long question can be asked, and short question I told you about Islamization or literature, short note on socio-economic trend or new orientation. Hope you understand today's lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.